start feeding some of these sharks. What do you guys think? You think you can do that with me on 3? Hannah, the sharks are hungry, as loud as we can. All right, 1, 2, 3. Hannah, the sharks are hungry! And it looked like that worked perfectly. Some of you might have to crane your necks, but I can see that she is trying to tempt some of these sharks with some fish right there. Some of the behavior that we might see as they're feeding, they might start swimming a little bit faster. They get excited. They're kind of clustered up there at the top of the exhibit. They're probably going to start feeding or start swimming a little bit faster, like I said. Sometimes when we feed these sharks, they don't display any of that kind of behavior, which is alright. That means that they're probably pretty full from their last meal. You see a couple of our other tropical fishes indulging in the shark's meal as well. You might even have noticed that our moray eel, our laced moray eel, is just swimming in the back there. He knows what time it is and he's ready for some food as well, so he might partake in the fun as well. We also have a southern stingray. She's a female southern stingray, just swimming along the bottom here. She will probably be eating as well, and she's going to go up and grab some squid as well, if she can find it, which is pretty cool. Southern stingrays and all stingrays actually have teeth that are quite different from sharks. They actually have molar-like teeth, so they are kind of able to grind their food up a little more. Now, on that topic of teeth, what I have right here in my hand is actually a bull shark's jaw. And this jaw helps me kind of talk about some of the really cool features with shark's teeth. So on the bottom here, we have teeth that are quite pointed, and these pointy teeth are really good for stabbing into things and holding onto things, kind of like a fork. Now the top teeth here are actually quite different from those bottom teeth. They're actually serrated on the edges, so kind of like a steak knife. And what these teeth are for, if you notice the shark take a bite of something, kind of like the shark is doing, you're going to see it toss its head back and forth, shake its head pretty rapidly. Now what they're doing there is actually using these top teeth, just like knives, to cut through that food, tear it into smaller chunks so they can swallow it a little bit easier. So pretty interesting uses of those two different types of teeth by these sharks. If I flip this jaw around as well, you might see the several rows of teeth here. And there we've got our southern stingray, our female southern stingray trying to take a bite of some of that food. In between the fin and the glass. I'm sure she'll work it out, no problem. Never a dull moment here. And it looks like she succeeded, so I'm glad. Sometimes you gotta work hard for your meals. Now, like I was saying, we do have several rows of teeth that you can see here on this bull shark's jaw. Sharks go through about 30,000 teeth in their lives, so they're not like us at all, where we have 2 sets of teeth. She's pretty hungry today, so that was a good show. Humans, like we all know, have 2 sets of teeth. We've got our adults and our baby teeth. Some hockey players even know we've got teeth we can take out at night and put in a jar. Those are dentures. But sharks have several sets of teeth throughout their lives. Like I said, they use about 30,000 teeth in their lives. When one falls out, it can last anywhere between a couple hours to about 24 hours. The next one in the row will be ready to pop up and replace it. That's why they always have very sharp teeth, and that will help them kind of eat their meals, which is very important. So we still have some more squid and more herring coming. Now, like I said, I kind of polled everyone and asked, who here loves sharks? Who here is afraid of sharks? Well, one thing that we often hear about, sometimes even in the news, is shark attacks. And shark attacks are a little bit misunderstood. Although they are very unfortunate incidences, last year I think there was about 80 shark attacks. About 4 or 6 of them were fatal. This is, like I said, they are tragic, but often what it is a case of mistaken identity. So right here I've got a silhouette, and does anyone recognize this silhouette? What might this be from? A seal, exactly. So this is what sharks will see if they're looking up towards the surface of the water, looking for food. However, if I bring this image out as well, does anyone know what this silhouette might be? Yeah. Exactly. So what we're seeing here is a person on a surfboard. And if I show them side to side, they are quite similar. Now if you're a shark, and sharks have been on the earth for millions of years, and these kind of silhouettes have been popping up kind of within the last 50 or 60 years, there's probably a point of confusion for you. So when we do hear of most shark attacks, most of them do occur on surfers, like I said, from sharks who are just looking for a meal. Often they'll just take a bite and leave that surfer alone as well. They're not trying to eat them. It is a point of confusion. Now on the flip side, I'd like to ask you folks, how many, like we said, about 4 to 6 people a year are killed by sharks. How many sharks do you think are killed by people every year?
1,000.
1,000. All right, let's go higher.
1,000,000.
1,000,000. Let's go higher. Yeah. Yes.
3 million.
3 million. Let's go even higher. How many sharks are killed by people every year? Yes.
400.
400. You know what? I like that. Be very specific. But we're going higher than 10 million. Yes.
50 million.
50 million higher.
100 million.
100 million. You got it. So we are talking about 100 million sharks, skates, and rays being killed by humans every year. So this is an absolutely astounding number. Now what are we killing these sharks for?
Shark fin soup.
Exactly. We are killing them for shark fin soup. And one of the most interesting things about that is when we're hunting or killing sharks just for their fins, what we actually do is we chop off their fins and throw the rest of the body back in the ocean, which is very unfortunate because most sharks need to be constantly swimming to have water passing over their gills so they can breathe. So when we cut off their fins and throw them back, these sharks are actually suffocating underwater, which is not a very pleasant thing to do to a shark. We're also killing and hunting them for other shark-based products. The 100 million shark skates and rays a year is an absolutely huge problem for the ocean, especially when we're looking at the food web. Now the Vancouver Aquarium heard about this problem, and we decided that we wanted to do something about it. And with that, we created a program called Ocean Wise. Now, Ocean Wise, what it helps people do is enjoy seafood in a way that's not hurting the ocean. So if you see this symbol next to an item on a menu in a restaurant or at a market when you're buying some fresh seafood, what this symbol lets you know is that that seafood item was taken from the ocean in a way that did not damage the habitat of where that seafood item came from. B, the fishermen who were fishing for that particular item left enough healthy individuals behind so that they can reproduce and make sure that there's a large healthy population for generations to come, which is really important when we're looking at sustainability. And last but not least, the Ocean Wise program supports fishermen who aren't catching things that they're not trying to catch. And I'm talking about things like dolphins, turtles, and of course, sharks. So the Ocean Wise program is an excellent way for consumers like you and I to choose seafood in a way that we're not damaging the ocean in any way. Because of course we want